Yo, what's up, everybody? Good morning, man. We had some. Listen, I'm having technical issues this morning. I don't know what's going on. The wrong videos is in the wrong spot. They was named something else. It wasn't even me. It was StreamYard. I got it fixed. Hopefully. What's up, everybody? Good morning to you. It's a Saturday morning. You know what time it is. It's MTG Live. I got my boy Hendrix with me, and we know most swag will be on shortly because she's never on time. Unless if she wants us to do something, then she might be on time. Good morning, bro.
Hey, what's up, man? Doing
All
all
right.
right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm cool. I will address these Dallas Cowboys fans though, because they beat the Saints. I
I
will
was just
say
about
this.
to ask you about that. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna tell them like this: You beat our second string. Whoop the freaking do. Like, and your offense couldn't do anything against our defense. Yeah, your defense beat our second string. The only two starters are the two guards from the beginning of the year. Everybody else was a backup. So, I'm like, and even Saints fans are like, dude, you beat our backups. Like, we played y'all hard as hell and y'all beat our backups. So, yeah. But it is what it is. It is what
Wow.
it is. So, however, I will say this. Uh, Playoffs come, I guarantee you Dallas will not make it past the first round.
So you don't think Dallas will make it past the first round?
It's not I don't think, it's that I know. I know football. And that's the thing I know is that their football team, all you gotta do is take a blueprint of the teams that have played Dallas hard. You shut down they run, they can't do anything. We have like the top rated rush defense. Like they got two plays and it took them you take them two plays out, I think they had like maybe 12 yards rushing.
Wow.
They got one play of like 28 yards and one play of like 30 yards rushing. I mean, you take them out. Like, dude, you gonna get lucky. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. So it is what it is. But I guarantee you this: round one of the playoffs, they're gonna be sitting their ass on the couch.
So okay. Now, I actually tuned into the fourth quarter of the game about maybe what was it? Maybe about 5 minutes left on the clock. Maybe five
Mhm.
38 on the clock. A lot went down. We don't
Yeah.
have to rehash it. A lot went down, and you know me, I'm not particularly a Cowboys fan or anybody's kind of fan, but I like good football. I will say this. I will say this, Reggie. If they make it through to the second round of the playoffs, you're gonna have a whole lot of of what we call it. You're gonna have to take back some of that what you just said if they make it
Hey,
past
man.
the first round.
Look, I
But
will eat my words. Just like again, I know what I'm talking about. I don't talk about stuff I don't know.
right,
Like
right.
just like these anti-vaxxers and these overnight scientists. You see, ain't none of them came on the show to try and challenge me.
I always wonder, man, but they can send us, people. Y'all, don't get me wrong. We love everybody. We want
Oh yeah.
everybody to, come in and all this kind of stuff and talk to us about certain stuff. But my thing is like y'all will write us and email us and text us about your baby daddy, baby mama. You'll talk to us about what you got going on at home. You'll say stuff like that, but then you don't when it's stuff like, okay, education, or we want to talk about the movement. If we want to talk about, like what I saw earlier today, that the Black Lives Matter movement is calling for a boycott for the month of December to all white businesses. We don't want
Hmm.
to talk about that. But y'all call us about your baby daddy. You talk to us about your side pieces, and you talk to us about all other kind of stuff. But this is important too. Vaccinations, and I think who is it? The state of Texas is requiring now that healthcare workers must be vaccinated by the first of the year.
Hmm.
There are a lot of different things that's going on in the community that we definitely want to talk about. But y'all want to send us that BS sometime. like this letter we got to read today, and I'm just trying to figure out, why wouldn't y'all come on and talk? I mean, we listen. I'm not the scientist, so quite frankly, I don't give a shit. I just want to hear your logic behind you not being vaccinated or taking care of yourself the way
Right.
that you claim to want to do, and that's do your thing, chicken wing. I just would prefer, sometimes y'all give us a mix and let's talk about some of these issues that are important. But y'all asses, you want to
Yeah.
talk about your baby daddy and shit.
I will give it to the one young lady that tried to come on. She was heartfelt, but like she didn't have any logic behind her argument, and she wasn't a real scientist.
Yeah,
That I'm like, you tried, sweetie, but maybe I shut her down too hard. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Okay,
don't know.
now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you already know what time it is. Before I
She's
bring
making
this
her
person,
grand entrance.
and she's making her wonderful grand entrance, none other than Mo Swag. She is in the building. Let me move this banner because Mo, I can't see you. Let me move this out the way. There you go, Mo. Pull your camera down like that, Mo. Kind of turn it down like that.
That's a little bit. There
Oh,
you go.
didn't you see the room that I've been dealing with? Because she said, the elf didn't see me in my room. It ain't on the shelf, so I ain't got to clean up my room. So it don't take a village. It takes a village, an elf.
Yeah, Mo. Yeah, yeah. You you
Hey,
you might
chocolate
be
drop
right.
smart. You got a smart cookie on your hand, Mo.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
You
Mo,
know
how much
what?
did the tooth fairy give her?
$1.50.
$1.50. Oh,
Oh, she went up.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
She got a big quarter, so she got a 50-cent piece.
Oh, she got
Hmm.
50. Do they still make half dollars now? They
Yep,
still
Yeah,
make
they
them? They
do.
do?
They still make dollar coins, actually.
yep.
I seen the dollar coins.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I didn't know if they made half dollars anymore.
And
yeah,
then
they
she,
still make them.
and then she was like, "Okay, so when we putting the tree up in my room,
Hey,
Mo,
sis.
yeah, this is what you have to understand, Mo. You are raising a daughter that is understanding that she is a special human being. You know that, right? You have taught
oh,
your daughter that she is important, she is
Do it like
beautiful, she
that
is
so
a
Mo can
princess,
sing.
and you have raised her to be a special person. And she has to age will teach her how to rein it in a little bit, but you are doing the right thing. You are. You're teaching her value and her worth, and that is a wonderful thing. However, as a parent, it will cause you headaches. And now I
it's
don't
whooping,
have any, huh?
it's whooping me."
I know,
What?
but Mo, I'm gonna tell you something like this.
Woo.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Growing up, I hated corn. Right? I do not like corn. I'm a person. I despise corn. Right? And the rule was, okay, you don't want to eat corn. Well, you write me a research paper on why you shouldn't have to eat corn. So you use those talents and use those skill sets and use all of that you're putting into her and help her build for the future. Because how many 12-year-olds can write a research paper on the fact that corn has no nutritional value at all?
And it doesn't digest.
It's a fiber.
It's a
It doesn't
fiber.
digest.
Right.
You as a parent, and I understand your frustration because I've heard my parents say it all the time. It's like, they struggle with teaching their children to be greater and move forward. But it's a struggle as well because they use that same mindset against you to do what they don't want to do. So you have to flip it on them again and make her think, okay, well, how do you know that the elf on the shelf wasn't here? Maybe he saw your room and it was in a mess and he left because your room was in a mess.
Or then
See
she
that?
said, well, why are we paying the maid if I have to clean up?
I, it,
Do you have an answer for her, Mo?
I said I have a show to do.
yeah,
So I ran.
yeah.
Listen, everybody,
I was
viewing
trying,
this.
Mo. I was trying.
View and listen discretion is advised of this conversation, of course, that we're having today are our opinions and for your entertainment only. Please be at least 18-21 to be able to watch this show, to participate in the conversations and all that good shit. We don't need your mom and them calling us, talking to us, writing us, emailing us about anything that we may have said or done to offend your children.
Talking
Make
about
sure
where's
that,
the elf. So them children, so
yeah,
the parents don't be like, "Where's the elf?" We be like, "We'll send you one."
yeah. We'll send you F, all right. We'll send you F.
If you
Ooh.
You gonna get an F, all right. All right, everybody. Listen, Mo, we ain't gonna be on long. You want to start with your letter, or let's just no? Oh, cause you gonna get this letter. I'm gonna give it to you today. Oh yeah, you got a letter today, and I'm you know let me see, we can be on about another 35, 40 minutes. So you gonna get this letter today, Mo. So, but let's talk about a couple of things real quick. We said we were going to talk about this real quick. Let me pull it up in regards to the parents of the high school shooting or the teen school shooting there out there in Michigan. We said we were going to talk about that. So I'm going to move that out the way and I'm going to get this article and I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you guys can see that. And I'm going to go over it a little bit so we can talk about this. Real quick, where is it at? Boom. I am having some issues today.
Yeah. And just for a reminder for the people that are listening to us on the podcast, hey, make sure you check out our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel. So all the visuals that we're giving you, you can actually see them. Yeah. So, we appreciate y'all following us on the podcast. And we worldwide love. Hey, we appreciate y'all all across the globe. But if you want to see the visuals, you gotta go and hop on our YouTube channel or our Facebook channel, and then you can see these visuals that we're referring to, because that always makes the show better when you have a visual point of reference.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Absolutely.
very much.
We sure appreciate you guys watching. And actually, the letter came from one of our listeners, not our watchers. That's
Mm,
cool. That's kind
yeah.
of cool. So yeah, and he addressed it to Mo.
Mm,
Mo, I don't know what you did. I'm sorry. Parents of teen suspect in Michigan shooting, school shooting, charged with involuntary manslaughter. A Michigan prosecutor on Friday filed involuntary manslaughter charges against the parents of the teenage suspect in the deadly shooting at Oxford High School in Oxford Township, Michigan. At a press conference in this is I guess it's Pontiac, Michigan. Oakland County Prosecutor Carrie McDonald announced that the charges against Jennifer and James Crumbly, whose 15-year-old son Ethan is allegedly to have carried out Tuesday's rampage, which left 4 students dead and several other students injured, including a teacher. Okay, while the shooter was the one who entered the high school and pulled the trigger, there are individuals who contributed to those events on November the 30th. And of course, it's their intention to hold them accountable, and it's imperative that we prevent this from happening again. Okay, so Mo, now this was the one that was they bought this child this weapon. Am I correct in saying this? That's
No,
not the one. Okay,
they bought
so
no. They bought a weapon.
they
yes.
bought a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
They bought a weapon. Okay. And let's finish talking about this. So what else happened, Mo? They holding these people accountable for what this child did. Should this be something that all school districts should consider?
Well, this is interesting. It's a little different because they had a meeting with the parents and the student about some drawings he had done and some things he had said in his journal. In the English class, they keep journals and whatnot. So the teacher goes by and on his Chromebook or his computer, he's talking about killing people and looking up ammunition for a particular gun. She thought it was kind of suspect, a little sus, as the kids say, and she reported it. The assistant principal or the principal had called the parents and the student in, had a conversation with them, a
Mm-hmm.
conference.
Hmm.
Parents then said, this ain't nothing. It'll be all right. And let him remain there in school. Didn't take him home. And later on that day, he decided to kill 4 people. And the 5th one is in critical condition.
Yeah.
So
Can I
so
just
that's why
say,
they're being held, because they should have taken him home, but the school is being held accountable too because they should have made him go home. Like I'm just really confused. But I was shocked that he was getting the parents were getting the manslaughter charges. I was there must be a direct correlation, some information that we don't know in order for that to happen. I mean, ordinarily to get a manslaughter charge, that's kind of the
Well,
charges may be dropped, but I'm trying to figure out where they were for 6 hours when they couldn't find them last night.
well, they have found them. Just a little update. They have found them, and they are in custody as of this morning. And then one of the things that allegedly happened was that there was a text message string between the mother and the son that he was telling her what he did, this, that, and the other, and they there was a particular phrase in there that says allegedly says that next time you have to learn how not to get caught. That may be the trigger. That may be the trigger on the manslaughter charges. So I'm not 100% sure. And again, this is allegedly. So this is why that they may have been charged with manslaughter. I'm sorry, my parents are just forgetful, and apparently they're not watching the show, and they're blowing up my phone.
I was just checking to make sure they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much going on right now. Checking, make sure they all right. I want to say this, y'all, and then some people may agree or disagree with me, but I didn't tell you where I am with this stuff right here. I spoke with a friend of mine who is an actual educator as well. I spoke with him earlier this week, dealing with children at the middle school. The parents get mad, come up there, cuss them out, all kind of stuff, because the child gets sent home for wearing holy jeans. But when your child don't come to school, skip school, don't want to do right in class, they put the child out of school because you're not abiding by the rules and all this kind of stuff. You want to come up there and kids videoing you saying you the shit and you gonna blow this bitch up and all kind of stuff like that. But then the only time you want to come up to the school, Monique, is when you want to talk about the child's clothes. So let me tell you, this is just my firm belief. Mo, you may agree or disagree with me, but listen, Monique, I have friends and family who are educators. You are one of my good friends. You are an educator. If some child, excuse me, come up to that school and do anything to you, that's going to affect your husband, Mallory, and your entire family. I feel like it needs to be a law that if your child can't behave in school, if your child got an issue with their mouth, they got an issue with their hands, and they decide to act upon that, and then upon in return getting your ass whooped, that the teachers and faculty and staff who have been affected by that child's behavior should be sued civilly by the parents. By the teacher. They should sue the parents. And they'll cut a lot of that shit out. I think that each parent, each teacher that goes to these schools and put their lives on the line every day for these bad ass, spoiled ass children that's gonna get these Christmas gifts and they got F's on the report card. That's going to get everything that they want. And if they can go up there and act the damn fool, and your parent coming up there only time to talk about your acid wash jeans, but not your grades, and not how to support you to get you to the next level. If your child do something, then the teachers should be able to come after you personally. Your homeowner's insurance. They should be able to sue the shit out of your homeowner's insurance or your renter's insurance. They should be able to do that.
Well, you can't
keep your hands to yourself.
You can't get blood from maternal. How you gonna sue somebody who own housing for $15 a month? That's why they
put it on their credit.
Like they care. That's why they can afford the $200 J's. Come on now. Come on. You can't get blood from a turnip.
But you can cut that motherfucker up.
Damn sure can. You
But
cut it
no,
up.
I mean, see, this is our society because they're too busy watching TikToks and they're too busy watching videos instead of doing their work or instead of reading. But the problem is not really with the kids, as we've seen with this particular situation or case. The problem is with the parents. See, Johnny can't read because his mama and daddy can't. And then since he don't know who his daddy is, there's no structure. You can't, Reggie, you know this. You can't form an equation if you don't have half the information. So if you only have the mother and you don't have the father, how can you form a total equation? Because I need to just DNA. I need to know where the other 23 chromosomes are coming from. If you got 46 and 23 are missing, I need to know. I need to know more than 23 in me, because what's happening is you're giving me a child, a situation with only half the information. And then you want me to fix them. You want me to provide guidance. You want me to educate them and uplift them. And I don't know. I'm only working with half of the equation. So I will always fail. But then when only 23 of those chromosomes come to school and talking about, well, it's what's wrong with the dress code? They're just pants. So you got holes in your pants and you want to show your thigh. Then you rip them a little bit more so you can show something else and don't have underwear on. Not only is that a distraction, but when you secrete bodily fluids, that's going to be on that chair. See, this is the problem with the people. The parents don't understand viral versus bacterial. Nor do they understand how that can, and they should, because they had these children at age 2. They should understand how long it takes and what semen can do and they just don't understand, or the opportunities. If you have clothing that is see-through, not only is it going to distract, but it may arouse some people. Now, what they're going to say is, that's not my daughter's problem if it arouses certain guys. Well, it is your problem if it arouses certain guys and they can't control themselves. Now, who we going to blame? They always want to blame the victim. I don't want them to blame the victim, but I want the victim to be a little bit smarter. For example, I give this example to my girlfriends all the time. If you go into a crack house to retrieve your husband, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your child, and you get stuck by a needle, or some crack monster who's in the crack house attacks you, I'm just saying.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to bring it real world around to them. And then they worried about, but they worried about the dress code, but they ain't worried about that D. They worried about hair color, cause why can't it be pink, blue, or red? But they can't understand why they ain't never at homeroom. They worried about why they can't wear dog collars around their neck, and then complain that they wearing dog collars around their neck, and then they complaining because other kids are barking at them. I said, well, hell, why don't you just take a dog bowl to the cafeteria and eat out of it?
Eat a doggy bone, goddammit.
Because what's going to happen is you're giving people ammunition. I know it's your freedom to do what you want. Well, but it's also somebody else's freedom to say what they want. Except the only thing they can't do is say fire in a theater,
public place. But
right?
see, this is what these so-called parents need to understand, is that your choices have consequences, and that those consequences of your choices, dealing with those, that's not anybody's problem but yours. Now, they talk about, I find it funny that, nowadays, these schools are talking about putting metal detectors in the school, and say, oh, no, we can't do that. It's going to distract from their learning. Bullshit. We went through metal detectors every fucking day at Kimball.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
And that was 20 years ago.
At every entrance.
At every entrance.
At every entrance.
This is the funny part. And this is where I can speak on this, because I lived in both worlds. I went to a PWI up until 9th grade, and then I came over to Kimball. At them PWIs, as far as grade school, they didn't go through no metal detectors. There was
No.
a metal detector like once, maybe twice a year that you had to go through. That's it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I felt safer, even with the metal detectors and all of this, all the gangs and the drugs. Honestly, I felt safer at Kimball than I did when I was at Lakeview or Lyles Middle School. I felt safer at Kimball. And that's just the reality of it. I felt safer in an environment where, I knew for the most part, hey, if you're gonna box me, we're gonna box head up. It is what it is. You beat me, fine. I win, fine. Now you may have to repercussions after you leave campus. However, at that point, at that time, it's gonna be squared up, and that's fine. But the other thing is, like with drugs, the only drugs that people were using at our high school was weed and alcohol. That's it. When I was in middle school and my freshman year at Lakeview, people was doing coke. They was doing meth back then in the early 90s. They was doing cheese. I had to explain to my parents what cheese was. They were doing
And
heroin.
can you explain cheese to me? Because I'm thinking of brie. Stop.
So cheese is like a mixture of like and coke and it's an opioid that they mix together.
How how are they getting this money to get? How much are their allowances?
Look, and that's what I was you jumped ahead, Mo, but I was gonna get there. I was gonna get there. Just pace with me.
Okay.
Look, I had this one guy.
The Mo
I
looking for
don't
the
know.
F.
Yeah. I don't know this one guy. Like, I don't know what his parents did or whatever, but we in middle school. This dude every single day, he got $500 in his pocket in middle school back in the late 80s, early 90s. This
So did
dude
he
had,
do cheese?
huh?
He did cheese too.
Like, he like this dude did a little bit of everything. He was doing coke and mushrooms back in middle school.
Mushrooms.
Yeah. Coke,
Mushrooms.
yeah, coke and mushrooms back in middle school.
Mm.
And that's what I was just like, what the hell?
You should check him
But
out. Try to look him up on Facebook. See
can't
if he's
find it.
still,
Can't
he ain't
find it.
with us. He ain't with us no more, baby.
Yeah, can't nobody know where he is. But I
Yeah,
will
he
tell
ain't
you this:
with us.
what happens is parents need to understand that your job as a parent.
Who was that?
I don't know who that
That
is.
ain't me.
Who is it?
Ain't me. Is somebody calling me?
Okay, so somebody want to know. Okay, somebody want to know why the elf is in the candle holder. That's all I got to say.
Oh,
Go ahead.
so
Sorry about
I would just say this, that parents need to understand that your role as a parent does not end just because the child is not in your sight.
Okay.
That's true.
They need to understand that you as a parent, you are responsible for that life that you brought into this world and that you are taking care of and that you are feeding and clothing and giving a shelter to. You are responsible for them 24/7, period. When they're in your sight and when they're not. That is your responsibility. And as a parent, your first role is to be a parent, not their friend. When they get grown, then you can be their friend. Like me and my dad, you'd have seen the interaction with me and my dad several
Mm-hmm.
times. My dad, me and my dad are ace boon coons, but growing up, nobody, no. He was hardcore, do this, do that, and try him if you want to. My little brothers, they have never tried my dad because they saw one time where I tried my dad and I was bigger than my dad. I had put on a lot of weight, hit a growth spurt. I'm like 100 pounds bigger than my dad at the time. My dad called me one time up in Mervyn's when we was going school clothes shopping. My baby brother was in his stroller. To this day, he remembers this event when my dad caught me in my chest and collapsed me to my knees with one punch. That set the boundary for everybody.
And he probably kept walking too.
He did, like
And
he
kept
didn't do
moving.
nothing.
Right.
In stride, just a reminder. It was implanted in my head and in my brothers too. That okay, here go Reg. Reg like towering over Pop. Got him by about 100 pounds. Pops took him out with one punch. Reggie bigger than us. We not trying, Pops.
And you the oldest too.
I'm the oldest.
See?
Mm-hmm.
See? That's it.
It took one event. And even my baby brother, who is taller than all of us. Now, granted, he only about 135 pounds soaking wet, but regardless, dude is like 6'2". He remembers this event from when he was in a stroller as a baby. Mm-hmm. He remembers.
Scared.
He's scared. You have to put some level of fear in your children. It's plenty of time to be their friend later on. After they got their degree and they walked across the stage and they got a career. Then at that point, you can help. You can start being their friend. But until then, you are a parent. And that's your first role and responsibility, is to be a parent and make sure you raise productive people to add to society.
Amen.
Absolutely.
And absolutely, those two, the Crumblies, wouldn't do that with their son. Okay, next.
Mo's letter. Let's read Mo's letter. Let's read it. Let's go and get it over with, because we've been on 33 minutes, and this shit is interesting. Because Mo, it's your fault. It's your fault. And I'm saying it's your fault, Mo, because you always want the people to get married.
Right.
You want the people to get married, Mo, and we want to do it. So y'all, listen real quick. Let's do this. Let's take a real quick intermission. I am gonna throw on an actual video. We'll take a quick intermission. It's not gonna take that long. When we come back, we're gonna read this letter and that one of our viewers so wonderfully wrote us, and we'll be right back.
got a different view, 여유롭게 달려와 내일은 더 빛나지 당연 yeah 내 삶은 shine like a diamond 괜히 해서 뭐해 걱정 I got no worries no I got no worries no I got no worries no.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We appreciate you again. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in and all that good stuff. So, all right, Mo. Excuse me. This is for you. This is for you, everybody. If you're just tuning in, we're just doing an MTG fan letter. And here it goes. It says, Master Gas host Mo Swag. Mo Swag, my name is Sean. I'm 44 years old. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Why are you looking like that?
Go ahead.
I listen to MTG on Spotify on Sundays before the game while my wife is at church. Her name is Jeanette. We've been married 21 years, and she has always been a church-going woman. All right. Yes. Lately, she has been asking me to go to church with her, and I decline each time. Mm-hmm. So my wife is usually fine with me staying at home, but this one time she asked me, she was very upset because it was their church annual, and I finally said yes. So when I get to the church, I found out that the assistant pastor, through another church member, had been giving my wife expensive bags, a total of 4 of them. The latest bag he gave her was a Michael Kors bag for their church annual. She was just really cheesing too, but that shit wasn't funny. So while I'm there, this other member that I had a conversation with asked me, did I know where my wife was? And I decided to go to the back of the church, and I find her and the assistant pastor in a tight embrace. While in this embrace, I witnessed this man give my wife a gold bracelet. and I lose it. I went off. I almost beat up the preacher Mo. Told him to stay away from my wife. Now she won't speak to me. How am I wrong in this situation? I see why she didn't mind me coming all this time and her getting home every Sunday damn near at 5 p.m. and services start at 10. Not saying she cheated, but it's suspect. How can I get her to trust me again? Signed, Sean.
Sean, that's your fault. 21 years and you never went to church and she was begging you to go to church. That's why she was begging you to go to church, because she wanted these other people to know that she had a real man. They didn't believe she had a real man because they didn't see him. They didn't believe y'all were really married. She didn't believe that y'all were really there. So that's why they started trying to give her gifts to sway her the way. But you know what I don't understand? How is it you don't go to church with her? You watch that game for 2 hours, and yeah, she at church from 10 to 5 because she got BTU training, fool. That's what they do at church. See, but if you had gone to church, if you visited church, if you known about church, you know why they got to be there from 10 to 5. You know why they got to fix the meals. You know why she got to work in the back of the kitchen. But see, you don't know that because you're too worried about somebody being 2 and 5 and somebody who going to the Pro Bowl and your wife is there begging you to come to church because she sees these predators and she doesn't know how to fight them off. So she'll accept the gifts so not to hurt anyone's feelings or be disrespectful. But I'm mad at you. 21 years and you ain't going to church. But in 21 years, how many football games have you gone to? How many basketball games have you gone to? How many barbecues have you gone to? But you can't. And it's not even going to church for your Lord and Savior. It's to go to your church to see about your wife. See what's going on. Why would a woman beg you to come to church? It ain't so you can get closer to the Lord, because she's been praying from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for your soul for the last 21 years. You ain't living under a bridge just because of her grace and her mercy, because she been praying. You got food because you're sitting there in front of the TV. You got electricity. You got cable because you're watching all the damn games. But for 21 years, she's been asking you to come and you can't. Hey, Sean, that's your problem. But I really hope she divorces you and then gets married to somebody else in the church.
I disagree, Mo.
Oh, I know you do.
Totally disagree. It takes 2 to tango.
How many times I gotta ask you to go to church?
I just want Rod to walk up on Mo hugging the assistant pastor with some jewelry.
Well, yeah. How is he gonna walk up? Cause he don't go to church either. How you think I know what Sean should be doing?
Look, it takes 2 to tango.
He talking about church shouldn't take no more than an hour, but we got to watch the Cowboys almost lose every weekend.
Look,
and that last game, I could have caught them passes that last game against the Saints. That didn't make no sense. It's like they gave up. That's why they got another touchdown. See, I knew all that because I had to watch the game. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Reggie.
But I will say this: it takes 2 to tango.
Yes.
And this is where being in a marriage, you have to understand that it's a partnership, and even if you are not like fully into, what your wife or husband is doing, let's just say you come up with a compromise, right? Like it's an easy compromise. They could have easily sat down and said, well, baby, I want you to come to church. And he's like, hey, well, not doing football season. I think that would have been an easy compromise. Like outside of football season, he'll attend church with him, right? That's an easy compromise. You meet in the middle. I mean, and that's what a partnership is about. It's about compromise. And so sometimes we all get caught up in our own little worlds and we cannot see past it to present a peace offering or some type of compromise. And we're all at fault for that, right? We all have to understand that we can't have everything our way 100% of the time. But if you come to a compromise, that will make the relationship work. And that's, to me, that was the issue. If they had sat down and came up with a compromise, because apparently they love each other. There is something there. You don't put 21 years of your life with somebody for nothing.
Right.
That's a long time. So there's something more there. But at the same time, this is where, to me, as people of color, we need to
Mhm.
make sure that we are using the tools available to us. And this is, I will always go here. Counseling is great because number one, it helps you see things that you potentially can't see because
Mhm.
you have too much noise or you can't see clearly. Number two, when you're a couple, your counseling can help you, will help mediate your relationship, right? Because sometimes we'll withdraw and go to our own little corners, and that'll cause separation. And that's not good. But what you have to do is say, hey, find a mediator. Some people go to the church. Some people will go to counseling. Some people will talk to relatives. And either way, whatever you decide to do, find a mediator. Because this right here is something that could have easily been resolved. Because apparently church is very important to your wife. The same way football is very important to you. Neither one is right or wrong, but understanding your partner's desires and wishes can help you mitigate some of these issues that we're seeing in relationships.
Y'all being real nice. I'm
Reggie is
sorry.
so wonderful.
I
Reggie is so wonderful.
Wait, before you speak, Q, I gave a middle of the road response because I saw in the look on your face from reading this letter where you was going. So I gave the middle of the road response on purpose.
I just want to say this. I just want to say this. I agree with both of y'all. Actually, I really, really do. Only thing I want to say is that to this brother man, you've been married 21 years. I understand you found out. Stop listening to people anyway about your own wife. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I know that if you go to church, I mean, you may not go to church as much as she'd like you to. And the moment that you do go, it's an important day or whatever you do go. But first of all, I'm so sick of ladies because he said in the letter that another lady at the church that knows his wife was telling him about what his wife been doing. Okay, you know what? Church gossip. It happens all the time. It happens all the time.
It wasn't
Well, Mo,
church gossip. That was a lonely woman, a bitter woman who was trying to get a man because a heterosexual black male in the church is a unicorn. So she was trying to get her one.
But Mo, think about it like this too. Let's flip it on the other side. She may have been lonely and she may have been all of that you said, but she also may have been witness to this woman potential suspect behavior. Because if I'm at home and you a woman and you lonely and this woman over here, she can get 4, 5 expensive bags. Ain't nobody else in the church getting them bags, and you getting a gold bracelet for the church anniversary, and you ain't even one of the first ladies. Yes, she gonna be bitter. She gonna be like, well, okay, but what the hell am I doing wrong? Yeah, I'm gonna squeal. I'm gonna tell and see and tell and let them know, let your husband know what you've been up here at this church doing.
That's why people don't like snitches. She need to get her own gold bag, and Michael Kors can be bought at Marshalls and put on layaway. I don't understand the excitement.
Yeah, and that's what I
Get a
asked.
part-time job like the rest. Yeah,
I had that
get
question too, Mo. Michael Kors is not expensive at all.
no
It's not.
coach.
They come,
If
y'all. They in
unless
Memphis.
it's an Hermes bag, unless it's an Hermes, if you can get it at Marshalls or TJ Maxx, I'm just saying.
Y'all know they in Memphis.
Whenever you see a janitor walk around with a Michael Kors bag or a Coach bag or a Fendi bag, guess what? When you see a janitor walk around with her apron on, get ready to get in her car, and she got a Fendi, Michael Kors, Coach, something like that, boo boo, you good.
Yeah. And
If you see a teacher with a Michael Kors, a Coach, a Fendi, until you get an Hermes bag, one that you got to be put on a waiting list and get it 2-3 years later, and you paying $50,000, don't be getting impressed by this little stuff.
Or Birkin. Yeah.
See,
now I would say this,
and the only reason I got mine is because they would hand me down.
Yeah, I will say this though on the Coach and Michael Kors, like those are not expensive bags. And I'm gonna tell you right now, me, my dad, and my brothers, we have Michael Kors and Coach gun bags. So that's what we carry our guns in.
I mean,
Like our principal said.
I like travel bags like that. Like I have a Coach backpack that I travel with. But it's
Yeah,
just not nothing that something that you sport all the time. It's just a fucking
yeah.
bag. I mean, it's just a
And
bag.
But for
honestly,
traveling, I only get to me. I only get to me. So to traveling.
Hey, Mo, Toomey got a 75% discount off right now on their website, and I'm going to look at it as soon as we hang up today.
yeah. I
Yeah.
was also say
And the
this
only
though.
reason, yeah. What?
I'll say, look, you talk about those bags. You want to talk about a nice bag that's not even leather?
Mhm.
Go look at a Swiss Gear backpack. For those that
Most
like
Yeah,
to
definitely.
travel,
yeah.
Most
I'm sorry,
definitely.
I got like 3 Swiss Gear backpacks. I'm sorry, those things are marvelous, and they not
And then they
leather.
got so many pockets. Yes.
And you know,
Yes. That
I'm a neat
cute
freak,
got so many
so
pockets you can use and stuff. You like, what? Yeah.
when
Wow.
the hell
But
did I
then
put this
Reggie,
in
okay,
here?
Reggie, you don't
Reggie,
need
I
none.
know
You're
I'm
going,
wrong for this,
but you know, with
but
Reggie Mo, you know, Reggie loses his car keys in the car. You don't need
because they
pockets that you can't find shit with.
no,
I mean, that
no.
just ain't gonna work,
That
Reggie.
Reggie,
that is true.
Reggie,
Yeah, you don't
Reggie
need it
still can't find the sweater I gave him with Texas A&M that's in his car. That's
in
because he
his
got
car.
4 cars. It's in one of them.
It's in
It's
one
in
of them
one of the 4
somewhere,
cars.
and
And
under
I was
a
so proud
gun
of myself.
somewhere.
The
I
gun
was so proud of
somewhere.
myself. You know what? The Texas A&M sweater is because it's folded. I gave it to him because I was proud of that. It's probably on top of the gun in one of those cars. So
And
Reggie,
Reggie
choose one. You got
and
25%
Mo.
chance, right, baby? 25%
Mo told
chance.
me about that sweater. Mo was like, I got Reggie the perfect sweater, and it's folded up nice and
I was
everything,
so
and
happy.
I'm gonna give
I
it
was
Mo,
to
so
him.
happy. I was so
I'm
And you
happy.
glad
know
you brought that up, Mo, because I did find a sweater. I did find
See,
a sweater.
and it's gonna
what
fit your
was it?
girlfriend. It's gonna fit your girlfriend really nicely.
No,
What was it?
I had honestly, I
It-
had folded it up and I had put it with my nice A&M sweaters that I don't really wear.
that's for
That's
the
how I
girl to
put
wear.
it.
Yeah.
That's where I put it, and I couldn't find it because I don't wear those sweaters because they're cashmere sweaters, and so I don't really wear them. And so I had it stacked. It was in the mix of those of my cashmere sweaters, and I pulled my sweaters out to get them dry clean for the fall coming up. It's fall winter, so I
Yeah.
was putting them in the cleaners, and it's like, well, shit, here go the sweater right here.
I was so happy. That was the best sweater.
Yeah,
Now it's
cheers.
Absolutely.
Christmas, so it's time for another sweater. Let me go find one in Marshalls.
I need one
See,
more. I want a nice sweater, Mo. I like sweaters. Only thing you just can't give me a turtleneck because I ain't got no neck. It ain't
I'm
gonna work.
glad you like sweaters. So somebody from Master Gasland should know because I'm only getting Reggie sweaters.
Well, why the hell you won't give me a sweater, Mo?
Did
Like
you
I
go to did you graduate from TCU or A&M?
no.
That's all the sweaters we got at the store.
All
Now go
right,
ahead,
everybody.
graduate from TCU. I get you some cashmere socks with TCU on it.
On next Saturday, we will not be here per se. Myself and the crew. I will be doing the Preachers Roundtable. That's going to be featuring me and 6 other dynamic preachers. We had a meeting on Thursday night, and it was fantastic. Myself is going to be on. uh, uh, Pastor and Lady Thomas from Cleveland, Ohio, Elder Nicole from Houston, Texas. My boy Elder Maurice Parker from Baltimore, Maryland is going to be on. And my other good friends, Pastor Ash and Lady Gigi of Arlington, Texas, is going to be in the house. We're going to be talking about the mental well-being of laity. We're going to be discussing things on real situations and situations in life that pastors are either just ignoring or they're not equipped to handle. And so we're going to be definitely digging into it. It's going to be next Saturday at 10 a.m. to about 1:30. I mean, not to about 1:30, for about an hour, 30 minutes. We're going to
Okay.
run the show, and then it's going to be great. Y'all come on in and watch us. And of course, yes, sir. You got something, Reggie?
I have a question, and it just dawned on me, and my mind kind of works in weird ways.
Yes, it does.
Can you explain the difference to the people real quick? Because we're
Mm-hmm.
about to end the show. Explain the difference between a pastor and an elder, and why are they elders, and why are some of them pastors and ministers? Help me understand this. Because I'm
Okay,
not one of them church going people that know understand the full hierarchy.
You and Rod.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Now you
You know
can be
what? I
in,
like Rod. I only talked to Rod a couple of times. I like him. We
That's,
we think alike.
that's why y'all get
you
got the
can
same
be
son.
in the elder of the church is just a designation given to that person by usually a licensing board. And so like for example, you an elder of church is a person that really kind of helps maintain the order, usually a seasoned minister. You
Can't
call them
say old.
elder,
Can't say
huh?
old. You can't say
No,
old.
no, because you could be an elder. Mo, you could be an elder in your 30s. But let's say you've been preaching since you was like 4 years old, 5 years old, six, seven, eight. Me personally, that's a whole nother situation. I just don't believe that a child should be in that position till they at least about 12, 13. But that's just me because, as a person grows in life or whatever, a person, you're teaching this child to preach about this, that, and the other, and they never been there before. That's just me. That's just me. But the thing is that and so a pastor is just one of the actual fivefold part of fivefold ministry. An elder is not a part of that. And so the pastor is just the person that of course governs that body, but a pastor can create elders or he or she could be an elder themselves. The elder is just a person that assists the pastor in keeping things in order itself. So
Gotcha.
some people call me Elder Q or whatever, not just because of my gray hair, Mo, but because I've been preaching 24 years. And so I'm an elder in this thing. I know a whole lot about it with different denominations and so forth. And then too, Reggie, it could be different in different denominations.
Mm-hmm.
Like Church of God in Christ, you have to be appointed an elder. Different Baptist church, you could be licensed as an elder before being appointed one. So it just depends on what denomination you're in and how your licensing procedures work for your board and governing body of your organization. Does that
Right.
answer that?
Yeah,
Kind
thank you.
of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of what they're doing. But yeah, these guys gonna be on there really, really powerful. And I can't wait to have them on real quick. But Mo, before we do that, I want us to give like maybe 30 seconds of some encouraging words, and then we're gonna pay homage to this young man Mo sent us this morning, Sandy Tolbert.
Yes.
We're going to pay homage to him before we jump off. So let's do some encouraging words, Mo. And Reggie, you give yours, and then we're going to jump off. So, Mo, let's go ahead and start. What you got?
People will always say you don't belong. But don't listen to that because you're there. So that means you belong.
All right, Mo. You belong, Mo. And find the elf. you gotta find the elf, Mo. Because Mallory's looking for the elf. Mallory trying to find the elf. Reggie, what you got?
Um, Life puts you in uncomfortable situations at two times, right? When it's time to grow and when it's time to move on.
That's it.
That's good, Reggie. That's
That's
good,
it. When
Reggie.
it's time to
I
grow
like
and when
that.
it's time to go. That's right. Yes.
That's right,
Yes.
Reggie. I'm with that. I'm with that. And if I have anything to encourage y'all about, listen, it's okay, y'all. Just go ahead and swallow it because everybody ain't gonna be loyal to you. Everybody
Yes.
ain't gonna be loyal to you. You might as well go on and put that in your brain right now and stop expecting people to, treat you like you treat them. Everybody ain't loyal. And it's okay to test your friends, in their loyalty. I did just the other day, and I was very, very surprised, but I picked up the phone and I called one of my homeboys and I was like, say, bro, I need you right now, man. I need you to come over here and help me right now. He said, well, where you at? And I was like, I don't need nothing, man. I just wanted to see if you was gonna jump and come just like I do for you. You know what I'm saying? It's all right to test your loyalties. And if people say, well, why would you do that? Because sometimes, we are in places right now, or at least myself, I should say that I'm not fucking with nobody that ain't loyal to me. But I will never, ever, ever treat you no different. But I'm just knowing at this point in my time that, I'm accepting that everybody ain't that loyal. That's just what that is. And don't expect them to be. And it's okay with that because you do have loyal people in your life.
Well,
And just
it's
huh?
okay, but Q, let me interject this. So when my mama died in 2013, and I was wailing because I was wailing for about a year. I ain't even gonna apologize. Some people were told me you should be over it by now.
What?
And she been gone since September 27, 2013 at 6:15 p.m. But I'm gonna leave that alone because I know all that. But let me tell you what happened. When their mama died 6 years later, you know what they said? I get it now. So people who you think ain't loyal, it's just that they ain't there yet.
They ain't there yet.
It ain't nothing against you. It's where they are because they don't understand. And then I can only equate or under people can only understand me whose mama and daddy died 5 days apart. That's the only category of people I know. And people of murdered children, they can't understand people who just had children who passed away. So and that leads it. Okay, so let me tell y'all about Sandy Tober. Sandy Tober and I graduated high school in 1984 when there were still horse and buggies. But what you don't know about Sandy is that class of 1984 Grimsley Senior High in Greensboro, North Carolina, he was instrumental. Now, let me tell you about what you didn't know. He was a friend of Whitney Houston's. He was one of them background friends. He was one of them friends who never went on stage, but he was one of them friends. He had a lot of friends in Atlanta and would pick up the phone. And when this one girl was getting ready to commit suicide, he talked her off the ledge, literally. And so she did his homecoming celebration. She went to his family and said, I know y'all his family. Y'all probably don't know me, but let me give you background. This is what happened. He saved my life 17 years ago. So he was a remarkable man. He was the first one, Reggie. So I had a party at my mama's house when she wasn't there, and he helped me pour drinks out of her bar. He forgot to tell me to put the water back in so my mama wouldn't know, but that was a whole nother whooping. So yeah, so he passed away. He had a courageous battle with cancer. And when I tell you that my heart was no good and still is, they had his homecoming celebration yesterday, and I couldn't be there in Greensboro, North Carolina. And when I tell you, I am just hurt from the bottom of my heart. But he's in a better place.
Prayers to his family, and thank you for his contribution to at least saving one life. We don't even know what he's done behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Exactly. So, but thank you, Mash the Gas and Q, for letting me give him a shout out because he was a wonderful man. Never to be forgotten.
Absolutely. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much. We're going to jump off right now. Enjoy y'all Saturday. It's supposed to be a pretty cool day. I mean, pretty warm day out there today. And we'll see y'all on the flip side. Y'all be good. Take care. And throw this video on. Let me find it. Oh, shoot. Mo done hung up. Peace.